How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Iron King Inc. YouTube channel. Today we have a pretty fun video. Now this is a D10N powershift transmission. It's been completely rebuilt in-house. We built it right over there, and now it's coming over here to our dyno. So every transmission that we build here, we always make sure to dyno test them before we send them out to our customers, which ensures that they're gonna have a good product when it goes in. They're not gonna have any issues. Behind me, this is our aidco dyno. It's from the late-ish 70s, but it works great for what we use it for. Now, this D10 transmission is driven right here, and it uses that drive shaft coupled to that, and that's what we use to spin this thing up and test it. So for all of our other transmissions, we have different adapters, different fittings, different gauges. We're probably going to be using these gauges today, I would think. Yeah, we're going to be using these ones. These are our adapters. Here's some more gauges here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead, get the crane, pick this thing up, position it where that end is towards the drive shaft. We're gonna lay it down, and then we're gonna take these chain binders and go around the transmission and tighten the chains down so that this thing can't go anywhere. If we have a lockup situation or we're testing the transmission and it suddenly stops, whether the dyno suddenly stops or whether our transmission that we're testing suddenly stops, it holds that thing down to where it's not going to take off, fall out of the dyno, roll over, do something catastrophic to hurt somebody or hurt the component. The aidco dyno, it's very versatile in what it can do. We test mainly power shift transmissions on it, but we used to also test hydraulic cylinders, and all we needed was a different fitting over here. I don't remember exactly how we did it, but we took different fittings, placed them in different places, and tested hydraulic cylinders in this area. It's got a giant hydraulic fluid reservoir in here. I think it's about, I want to say it's 500 to 600 gallons, because there's also a reservoir behind that wall. And what that does is it basically has its own oil system to plug into the transmission and cycle the oil through. And it'll be up in here and go down there to a first filter, and there's 3 more filters behind. I'll actually show you guys behind here what it looks like. So I pulled these covers off so you guys can look and see what we're doing. But this is, so this is where the oil comes out, goes into here, goes through this pump, and it pumps out into the filter system into the back. So there's our secondary filter and our third filter, and that is the power unit or the power supply for the dyno in the back. What's also cool about this dyno is this is a dozer transmission, and I'll just use another example for you guys. This is out of one of our big graders. This is a 24H Caterpillar grader transmission, and they have very different sizes, as you can tell. That one's super low, it's pretty much 1 unit, and this has a planetary system and what they call the drop box, which is kind of like a big transfer case. And what is cool about our dyno system is we can actually adjust where this drive shaft goes to power different things. So if you notice over here, we'll go back over here really quick. This is super low, so we need to lower the dyno to run that transmission. But the 24H transmission, you need to power it up here. So I will show you guys how we go ahead and adjust that for different transmissions. So this is a bit primitive, but what we do is we have this little winch here, and we can go up and down, and then these bolts secure that in there once we lift it up. I'm not sure if it's loose or tight. Let's see here. Don't remember. Yeah, it's locked in. So he has that prepared already. So we're basically ready to go. All we need to do is lift that transmission on there and go ahead and start testing it. All right, well, without further ado, let's go ahead, get this transmission picked up with the crane, get it on that dyno, and see what it does. Coming up. Are you still to it? Yes, I do. Watch your feet. Yes. Okay, there you go.
We gotta go up in the front just a little bit.
Okay. Well, I gotta lay this in the notch there. Yep. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's
so we're gonna go ahead and put this right here. You want me to come down a little bit, or?
So what we can do is we can set it down into this,
Yep.
get it set in there, and then we can roll it around. We can slide it forward and backwards after it's in.
Well, yes. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so I'm gonna come down.
Yep.
Got it. Good. Perfect.
What about the front?
Yep. That's just gonna sit right there.
Is that what you said? It went around the case right there?
Yes, that's how that's gonna work.
Okay. All right, now
We're
then,
perfectly
hold on.
level right now.
Let's see about our.
Oh, money. Money.
We got the.
Yep, perfect. Okay, good. We'll show them where we're at with that. Okay, so we have the transmission set on the dyno. This is where we're going to hook up the drive shaft, and we made sure that we have a little bit of slip in here for any movement that we might have. So that is going to hook up just like that. We're going to put the bolts in it. We're then going to take our chains, go around the transmission, bind that down so it's secure and can't move, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start hooking up some lines. Go ahead and we'll get this one in. Might take a little bit of...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And get them all in while it's loose.
Good?
Yeah, take one for the bottom on this side.
Let me get that right there. Okay.
I think it's this one.
This guy. Yep, this guy right here.
It only has 3?
No, it's got 4. You got the other one right here.
Where? Right where? Oh,
You
I
should have
see
one
it.
right
Yeah,
there.
right
Yep.
there. She's off on the double holes.
Okay, perfect. Now we just need to...
Tighten it down.
Yep, 9/16, and we'll get this thing tightened down here. Okay, torque wrench set to 40 foot-pounds. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna torque all these in a star pattern. I'm just gonna go ahead and get these cinched up real fast, and then we will torque them all at 40 to make sure everything is precise and we don't have a single problem.
Yep. Sold all 3 of them actually.
Good. Come back up here.
Here's your drink. I'll put it
Good.
right on the table.
Thank you. Come up here. Good. We'll just do one more test. Make sure we're good. 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 Back down. Good. Okay, everything is torqued. Okay, right here, drive shaft is leveled out. We used our winch system here, got this thing dead flat. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this thing back up just to make sure nothing's going anywhere. Cinch them up first, just to make sure everything's snug, and then we will tighten them down for real. Okay, back up here. Tight, tight, tight. Good. Okay, all good. Okay, this is our drive shaft cover. What we do is we put this on every time we test a transmission. Just in case this drive shaft is to break, we have some sort of protection to at least deflect some of what's going to happen. So hopefully that never happens, but this is going to ensure our safety.
I was just cleaning it.
Okay, so we went ahead and we got our first safety chain attached. It's still loose, but I wanted to show you kind of what we do here. So we hook it to the bottom of here, wrap it around, and we make sure to have a little bit of space between here and our adapter for our quick disconnect fittings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and just go snug, not too tight. Okay, lay this down here. I'll lay this to the side. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this guy down. Okay, so we went ahead and we got these super tight. This transmission is not going to go anywhere. And along with these two, we put a little bit of tension on our crane to just make sure we have a bunch of points of contact to hold this transmission in place. Now that we have done and secured the transmission, we're going to go ahead, take our hydraulic lines, and we're going to hook them up to the dyno machine and to the transmission through our quick disconnect fittings and our adapter to the transmission. All right, guys, so we are ready to start hooking up the lines to the transmission. Now, the first line we are going to hook up is the trans oil inlet from the pump. So this is our first line, and it is going to supply flow to the transmission. So I'm going to take our hoses with our quick disconnects and start plugging it in. Okay, first hose. We make sure it's tight, give it a few really good tugs. And then we are going to go from here. Now, since we looked at the book first, we know that this hose over here is this guy right here. Now you need to be very careful, as sometimes these transmissions have a different setup, right? Have a different valve on the inside. So you can hook it up here and this could be your output, or it could be something different. We know for sure this is correct. I'm gonna go ahead and stand right here. And we'll just rotate this around and plug it in. Come on now. Got it. Sweet. Okay. First line attached. And then we'll just get the other two all hooked up. We went ahead and got the transmission. All the gauges are hooked up. Our other lines are hooked up over here. I also went ahead and we turned our flow on just to get everything lubed up, or else we'd be here for a while. So that's why you see this oil here. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and start with the process of the dyno. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna verify our valves are closed. We have the transmission all the way in neutral. Okay, this is your forward and reverse, neutral first, second, third on this one. Okay, closed. No second chances. Fire it up. We're gonna turn our auxiliary on. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open this up so this reads about 4.8. Up our pressure here. We're gonna go to about 20. Okay, close enough. If we go down here, we can see we're flowing out of the transmission. Here we have we're gonna start the rotation of the transmission. Okay, we're gonna start the rotation of our drive shaft now right over here. To about 700 RPM. Okay. Now we're going to start the process of shifting. This is forward and reverse. This is neutral, first, second, and third. And if you see this, if you see our diff, we have very slight movement. We are in neutral. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to bring it into first gear. Here's first gear. See, we have flow. Our P1 and P2. Okay, P1, if you look down here at this gauge, 400. Now, we want to make sure we have a 50 psi difference between P1 and P2. You go here, P2, 350. That's perfect. Now, if you look here, you want to have about 2 to 3 gallons per minute of lost flow. This is perfectly within spec. This thing is ready to go. Now we'll go ahead and we'll rotate this. We'll go from forward and we'll go to reverse. Okay. We're going to shift back down into neutral. Because if we were to shift right now from forward to reverse, it'd be catastrophic. A good way to tell if we're in neutral is to come over here to your gauges. See, P1, 400, P2 is at 0. So, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna shift. Okay, we just shifted from forward to reverse. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shift from reverse to first gear. So we're in neutral right now, but we're going to go to first gear reverse. Everything's correct, the transition is stopped. Here we go. Good there. Second gear. PSI difference and 2 gallons per minute. We're always checking flow. come down. All the way open. Close this guy off. Auxiliary off. That's how you do it. All right, guys. Well, that was a little sneak peek of what we do here at Iron King when we are finished rebuilding these Caterpillar transmissions. Now, this was not a full dyno. Obviously, it takes many hours to properly dyno test a Caterpillar transmission, but I wanted to show you guys kind of what it takes to start the process and what we do. We still need to set initial pressure. We still need to do some more testing to make sure that when this transmission goes out to one of our customers, it is perfect. There is no issues. They put it in their machine and it goes and goes and goes for the allotted time that CAT recommends for component hours. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. If you have any questions, comment, or subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this. Thanks, guys. Okay.